8 students are competing in a 200-meter race. How many ways can the students finish first, second, and third? Well, this is a decisions question. There's 3 decisions that need to be made. You need to decide how many possible choices would there be for first place. Right? 8 people in a race. Any one of the 8 could come in first place. Then only 7 in second, and 6 in third. And we already did this math earlier to get 336. Now with permutations, and the reason I'm saying we already did this math earlier, is that we did this right at the beginning when we were doing our math. And 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which you could now write as 8 factorial, divided by 5 factorial, happens to be the same as 8 times 7 times 6, because the 5 factorial would cancel out with all those other numbers, and you'd get 336. And this leads into right here. At the bottom of page 698, they have the permutations of different objects formula. The number of permutation of n distinct objects taken r at a time is npr, which is n factorial over n minus r factorial. In other words, you have, in our example, we had 8 students, and we wanted to know how they could finish first, second, and third, taken 3 at a time. So the formula would be 8p3 would equal 8 factorial over 8 minus 3 factorial, which is 8 factorial over 5 factorial. And one of the things that you're going to learn is when you have to simplify factorials, you expand the bigger one, 8, 7, 6, until you get to the smaller one. Then you could stop and say, these two are exactly the same, and they would cancel out. And because we can solve these questions so easily with the spaces, we almost never use the permutations formula. Because this really, in the fundamental counting principle, this number was your number of spaces. And that's always your first number, the number you would start with. So if I had 3 spaces, 8, 7, 6, that's probably easier than plugging things into this formula. Although there are some questions that use the formula, so we're going to deal with those as well. So in the question that we were doing, we can add to this now that this is the same as 8p3. The other thing is you have that button on your calculator, so if you type in 8, then go to math and over to probability and choose number 2, the 8 will get put in 8p3, push enter, and you can get 336 that way as well. Questions 4, 6, 7, and 8.